Hi everyone, welcome to our practice today. My name is Sherry and this is a sample of my class called Rooted. Rooted is pelvic yoga therapy, and this is suitable for folks with all sorts of different questions or concerns going on in their pelvic floor. Today what we're going to look at is hip mobility. So the hip joint, meaning the femur head in the hip socket, which then assists our pelvic floor in being able to function better. In particular, we're going to look at hip mobility that can be useful for folks who sit a lot or drive a lot, runners, or people who are really active, maybe muscularly a bit bound or tight in their hips. And this might also help you when you go to the toilet as well, if there's anything going on with constipation. Last but not least, squatting is a really key functional movement, and some of what we'll do today can help your squat go smoother and deeper, getting the hips, knees, and ankles all working together like a team. All you need is a comfortable floor and a wall space, or maybe a chair to put your legs up at the end of class. So come on down onto your back. Make your way down comfy. You can have something soft or squishy under you, like a mat or a blanket or a carpet. If you find that you want a little bit of lift for your head and neck, or if your head wants to rock back, eyes and chin higher, then you might want to just self-correct slightly, eyes down, chin down, let your neck soften. If that feels hard to do, just bring a little bit of a lift, a layer of blanket or towel underneath for support. And then start to settle in. See if you can let the world wait. Bring your attention inward to yourself, inside your body. Take a moment to notice your current sensations, any areas of tension that you're noticing, even the quality of your breathing, your attention, your mood. And see if you can allow yourself the graceful invitation, compassionate invitation to meet yourself in this practice with kindness. So we're not forcing the body to quote unquote open or change, but we're going to listen and move and see how our body can respond. So offering yourself the gift of this time with yourself. Allowing your breath to deepen a little bit. Give yourself all the time you need to exhale. And if it's comfortable for your wrist and shoulder, go ahead and check the amount of space you have under your low back. For many of us, there's going to be a little bit of a space there for the lumbar curve. It's a normal space where our back will not touch the floor. And then if you bring one leg in, you'll feel that space change. Your low back comes closer to the ground. Take a breath in, ease out of that movement. Your thigh can go away from you a little bit. And then as you exhale, hug close. Easy breath in. Letting the belly expand, and then feel the upper thigh come into the lower belly, giving you a little bit of pressure. Again, if this is on your radar for your bowels or constipation, this can be really helpful evening and morning to literally get things moving. Just enjoying that relationship of how your back responds, thigh goes away, As your leg comes closer, let it come into the floor. Last round, full breath in. And then use your exhale to hug the leg. Notice your sit bone on that side. Your sitting bone becomes a little more prominent as the glutes elongate. And kind of slide out of the way a little bit. Take a little movement side to side, guiding your knee across the body and open. Your breathing can do what it wants to do normally. And then when you bring the leg out to the side, pause. Flex the foot, like you're pressing out through the ball of the foot. Maybe take a little wiggle or circle. Finding that connection all the way into the pubic bone. That side of the pelvic floor, pelvic bowl can widen into this half happy baby posture. And then slowly we're going to set the foot down into the ground. You'll let your pinky side of the foot touch and slide the foot and leg away from you. Roll to parallel. Heavy leg bones, let the leg roll out, turn out, and drag the heel in to your sit bone. Place the foot back into the floor. We'll do that just one more time. Let the leg rotate open. Pinky edge of the foot is weight bearing into the floor. We press away, find parallel. Parallel means toes, shin, and knee, all aiming to the ceiling. And then let the leg turn out, drag the heel directly into your sit bone and find the big toe side grounded. Good. Both arms up and over. Maybe take a clasp of the hands, give a little reach or push. You can let your back arch away from the ground for a moment. Maybe wag your tail. Whatever feels good. And then let your arms come back down. Feel the back ribs reconnect into the floor, settling. And we'll hug the left leg in, the second side. So a few rounds here, moving in and out of this range. Thigh goes forward on the inhale, and then hugs into the belly when you exhale. There's going to be that little rolling of the pelvis, the shape shifting of your low back from its natural curve on the way forward. And then into more flexion, rounding and resting into the mat. Starting to feel that pressure of the thigh connecting into the low belly, especially here on the left side. That's our descending colon. So if there is some constipation that you're noticing, it can be nice to spend a little extra time there. When you're ready, we'll move side to side, letting the leg open and then cross the center of the body. And I'm letting my shoulders stay grounded and broad. My opposite hip stays pretty still. Let your breath do what it wants to do. Good. And the next time that you let the leg rotate open or externally, kind of finding that diagonal like a half happy baby, go ahead and flex and point the foot. Maybe circling. Really kind of yawn the sole of the foot open. And perhaps imagine what it would be like to squat that deeply, right? To feel your spine lengthened head to tail, nice deep hip crease, that side of your pelvis pelvic floor, pelvic diaphragm is widening to accommodate this deep hip flexion. So you can feel or maybe imagine what it would feel like to melt the muscles from the tailbone and sacrum outward into this sideways movement. Good. Take your time to bring the foot to the floor. Pinky edge of the foot's going to push away. Knee is straight. The leg comes to parallel, rolling back into midline. And then let that effort go. Let the thigh rotate out and drag the heel into the sit bone. Place your big toe on the ground. Go again when you're ready. Let the leg turn out, 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 resting or falling into the ground. Slide away nice and easy. Press out through the heel, nice and parallel. And then let the leg turn out as you drag the heel in and come back together. Good. Take both legs up, give them a shake. Really let the muscles wiggle jiggle. Kind of shaking off the bone. Nice and easy. And then let the knees bend. Heels can drop down, down, down. Have a moment to hug both legs in. Now we'll really feel both sides of our back snuggled into the floor, chest and shoulders broad. And you might be able to feel, again, how those muscles between your sit bones or from tail to sit bones, that they are widening. They're relaxing and lengthening. You can take a little roll side to side. And then let the knees, let the thighs rotate out. We did this one-sided before. Now we're in a bilateral movement. Both legs rotated out or open. Your hands can support on the outsides of the knees or reach to the inside of what I call the knee pit, right behind the fold of the knee. Letting your arms settle back towards the ground, and that encourages the external rotation. And take a little movement up and down, side to side. And then add the feet. Flex through the feet, spread through the toes. Again, maybe imagining, could I squat that deep? Could I find that stability and range and comfort? Deep hip crease, pretty deep knee bend. Dorsiflexed feet, and if you want, take a little play, feet reaching out, the knees extend just halfway or so. And slowly coming back together. Bring your feet and knees to parallel, hug them close, and set your feet down. Have a moment to enjoy, notice what sensations are different now. Maybe your mind and mood are also different. Maybe there's still a little bit of space, but more breadth, more spaciousness or melty quality through your back body, more ease or weight through your pelvis. From here, we're going to take a last movement before we change positions. We're going to take a revolved belly pose. So let's take the pelvis up just enough that we can shift it over to one side, set it back down, and then let your knees go the opposite direction. So I took a lateral shift to the left, kind of like a typewriter, ding, send my hips to the left, set them down. And then my knees rolled to the right. Your arms can be on whatever angle works well for your chest and shoulders. Letting yourself breathe smoothly, easily. Maybe check in with your eyes, your tongue, your jaw. Letting the base of your skull soften. When you feel your next breath cycle, let your exhale help you feel the floor. Finding the sacrum, pelvis rolling back to center. Take a moment to realign, and then we'll shift the pelvis to the right. So a little shift sideways to the right, knees go to the left. Feel free to adjust your shoulders, your head, the angle of your arms. And spending a few moments resting here and trusting that gravity will hold us, the earth will hold us. And can we soften and give into that support? Give yourself time. When you feel your next breath cycle, let the exhale again lead you down into the floor to roll back to center, and let it take you all the way over to your side and come on up. We're going to find a little something to sit on. It can be a rolled blanket, a pillow, a couch cushion, a yoga bolster officially. So anything that is a good size and height for you to go ahead and sit on comfortably. You're welcome to go higher. If you get any knee or ankle discomfort, go ahead and just elevate your seat a little bit higher. So sitting on a prop can give us a little bit more tangible feedback of what's happening in the pelvic tissues or in pelvic bones. So as you arrive in your seat, give yourself permission to send awareness all the way down to your base of support, your seat, your sit bones. Taking a little press of one sit bone and then the other into that support. Little shift side to side, or maybe circling. If we wag the tail back, there's a little more weight towards the front of the pelvis and pubic bone. If we curl the tail forward and under, you'll feel that gathering sensation perhaps of the sit bones coming closer to each other, the tail gathering and coiling into the body. So there's really no right or wrong way of moving here. You're using movement as a way to increase your awareness of the pelvic tissues. Of course, if there's anywhere that's tender or uncomfortable, do a little less pressure or intensity there. Maybe go next door, a little higher, lower, left, right from where that tender spot is, and breathe a little bit more. How can I allow these movements to become a little smoother, maybe subtler, more refined? So less mechanical, more fluid is what you're going for. And that will create some effect up through the spine as well. So last few moments, moving from the contact that you feel in the different bones of the pelvis and structures, tissues of the pelvis, letting the rest of the spine undulate or receive that information. Let it go along for the ride. Start to make your way 50-50 back to center. So neither left or right, forward or back. kind of recalibrate smaller and smaller until you feel like you've arrived, almost maybe surprising yourself that, oh, there's center. That's where I feel both sit bones. My natural lumbar curve. And maybe a sense of breadth with space in your seat. Full exhale, take a little bow, chin to chest. Feeling that length down the back of the spine, pouring into your sacrum and tail. And then inhale, gaze up, arms go upwards. Maybe a little push once again, like on the floor. Good. Exhale, eyes down, chin down. We're going to gather one leg up in front, placing the foot on the floor, sole of the foot grounded. So that side will feel the sit bone a little bit more prominent again as we're in hip flexion. You can heel toe the leg out to the side. Take a little bit of movement there. You can let your hands support you in front, or your hands can help you twist and go back. Maybe twisting both directions. And then put that leg down for a moment. Big sweep up, inhale. Exhale, eyes down, chin down. Sweep the other leg forward, place the foot. Land there for a moment with the sole of the foot grounded, the sit bone grounded. Make that connection. Foot, sit bone, bases of support. And then heel toe to walk the leg out. And again, trust your instincts. Do I want to twist? Do I want to fold forward? Use your hands to support you. We're letting the torso move in all these different ways because it will then create some openness all throughout that hip. Good. Use your hands for support or the hands to lift the other leg. And we're going to sit in this deep squat, malasana. Having a few moments, again, sit as high as you might need to or want to. A little bit of movement is welcome. Trusting that while we're supported, we can find the mobility, we can find the range. So from the pubic bone, there's a nice widening out through the adductors, the inner thighs. Again, feel free to paw with your feet, a little push, pull against the floor. You can refine the angle or width of your stance. Just like how I'm releasing my jaw, I'm encouraging my base of my pelvis, my sit bones to stay wide. So if we start to feel our posture coiling in, rounding, that's going to create more pressure in the abdomen, more downward weight-bearing pressure into the pelvic floor. So we want to sweep the tail back, sit right up on the sit bones with the chest lifted, eyes gazing kind of downward, forward, out across the floor. One more good breath. Up to you on the exhale if you want to take a little float, little self-supported moment. Good. And then sit back down. Beautiful. Heel toe the feet back in. Send one leg out. Flexing through that foot, pressing out through that foot while you feel your sit bones under you. We're going to take that reach upwards. Inhale. Exhale, eyes down, arms down. See the knee you have in front. You're going to turn your heart towards the knee that's in front. Finding your way into an amount of spinal twist that feels good. You might feel some lengthening or stretch through the outer hip. Sending the breath down through the rib cage, expanding 360, and then use the exhale to feel the belly roll back away from that twist. So like a little bit of a counter rotation. So we inhale, feeling the heart, ribs, lungs. On the exhale, the heart revolves around while the belly spirals back. Same spiral, but finding that relationship top to bottom. Good. Inhale, eyes forward. Exhale, send your foot. Good. Have a little pawing moment. Adjust your seat if you would like. And we'll draw the other leg back. Sole of the foot grounded. Both sit bones are supported, although one side might feel a little bit more rooted than the other. That's all right. We're in an asymmetrical posture. Acknowledge heart is going to go towards your knee. Use your arms to support where your body has already started to arrive. So I'm not pulling my way into the twist with my arms. Sitting tall with the breath in. On the exhale, you see over your shoulder behind you. Couple more breaths. Using the inhale to fill and expand, move the ribs. And then on the exhale, find that little belly counter twist. It's just very subtle. One more breath cycle. Feeling that beautiful spiral all the way through top to bottom. And then let your eyes come forward. And send the leg out. Good. You have the choice to keep the legs straight if you would like, or bring the feet in, Baddha Konasana or Paschimottanasana. Okay. So up to you whether legs are straight or legs are bent. You could also have the knees intentionally bent to help you find that natural lumbar curve sitting right on the sit bones. So once you're clear, there's my sit bones, folding from the hip joint. We're going to elongate the heart, throat, crown of the head, forward in space, while the hip crease and tail aim behind us. So any posture with the legs, we're finding forward bending or forward flexion from the hips. Maintaining a relatively neutral, long spine. Really focus on the hip crease. And notice if you can allow the sit bones to kind of roll, swivel under you, aiming at the baseboard trim behind you. Nice wide base of support through your seat. Full exhale. Maybe a little bow of the head at the end of the exhale. And then press the legs into the ground. Eyes start to lift their gaze upward. Send weight back through the sit bones. And press the legs against the ground to find your way out. So last but not least, we're going to rest. Rest, rest, rest. And you could have your legs up on a chair. I'm going to use the wall. You also don't have to be close to the wall necessarily. So you can have some space between your hips and the wall, that's fine. And take a moment to confirm or visually check that your feet and legs are streaming down through gravity parallel. That's going to help your leg muscles be able to relax. You can stay with the legs more elevated, Or if you'd like, find the soles of your feet heel toe apart, like we did in happy baby pose, like we did in our deep squat with support. Now we again have the ground to give us support so that we can find the range, the freedom, the ease across the low belly and pelvic bowl. Sense of spaciousness between the sit bones and gently streaming out, out, out through the inner thighs. I'm allowing gravity to help me soften my eyes and jaw, melting my neck and shoulders. Trusting that we are supported and offloading gravity. So if squats create leaking or pressure for you, this is a really great place to practice the range of motion, to get familiar with this position without the demand of gravity. There's more we could do here in other sessions, but for right now, just trust that you can rest here. Invite yourself to soften and get quiet. If you feel like you would like more time, please stay. Wherever your attention is in this moment, start to consciously guide awareness down through your body into the soles of your feet against the wall. Maybe give the wall a little push. Feel the strength of your body awaken for a moment and then release the push. And then start to paw heel toe back together. Find parallel. When you're ready, we'll slide the feet and legs down from the wall, roll to one side, and give yourself a moment to yawn or linger there. Know that there's no rush. And after a few moments, start to make your way upright. Find your way to seated. Letting your perception come back up to the surface, noticing the temperature of the air on your skin, the texture of your clothes, the sounds that you hear. Enjoy your sense of center and how this basin of support under you carries you through the world. Connected, grounded, fluid, spacious. Offering yourself sincere gratitude, and if you'd like, a gentle bow head to heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are complete for this session. Thank you for joining me. And if you have any questions, comments, insights, please let me know. You can send a comment here or email me through my website, sherry.storriba.com. And I look forward to seeing you next time.